Hey everyone, today we're going to be testing out this brand new Lux Algo indicator. The reason why we're testing it out is because it's making a bold claim saying it can predict the exact future. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I scrolled through the comments and watched the video. And at first I thought this could be a really great indicator. Now we're just going to test it out today. We're going to mess around with some of the settings to see if we can make it even better, because I believe predictive modeling indicators and all the rest of it are going to become even better in the next coming years. So we're just going to test it out, see if this can actually work properly. But I've seen a lot of people in the comments going, this is not great. I've tried to do it 10 out of 10 times and it picked the exact wrong direction that the market went. So we're going to see if we can test out some of the settings and just make sure you stay clear from this indicator if it doesn't work properly, or if it does, then give you the right settings to be able to do it. And here's the indicator. It's anchored Monte Carlo shuffled projection. Now, I really do like Lux Algo's indicators. I use a lot of them, and this is a brand new one. So I'm just going to be seeing if it actually works to the best standard. So first, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to look at just before all of the news events, and we're going to put it at this start of day right here on Wednesday last week, see what it says. Now, it does predict quite an accurate trend, to be fair, and the trend does go exactly the right way. But what it doesn't take into account is for when these news events come in and there's massive dips in the market. There's no indicator that can predict these type of events from happening, unless it's got some sort of artificial intelligence that knows all the market news events will push the price a certain direction. So to be fair, it is harder to see that. So to move the anchor, you just need to go over to where this little button is here, and then just move it to exactly the space in the chart that you want. Now, again, see what it does. If it sees that it's in an overall downtrend, then it will just completely push the trend in a different direction. Now, it just doesn't take into account all these different news events. So let's just do it on this day right here when the market is in sort of an uptrend, because on this day, this is when the Israel-Iran conflict started booting off. And obviously that sent the price of gold skyrocketing, just because of the fact that gold is like a safe haven investment. So whenever any news comes out like that, gold usually spikes because it's a safe haven. A lot more investors put money into it. And it did catch the right trend direction in this case. But what I found is if you pull it to this direction now, it actually says that the trend was going to go all the way up and go slightly this direction, which wasn't the case. The market continued to drop in this case. And if you put it into this direction now, which is what I really want to be looking for, to be honest, I see this could potentially either go in either direction. It could either go up or down, depending on the news that's going to go out right now, because it's 9 p.m. New York time, and it's saying it's going to go in a downtrend, whereas I could see it could go either way. To be honest, it's clearly at a point where if it drops, you're going to be in a lovely amount of profit. It goes back up, you're going to be in a lovely amount of profit. So it could go either way. So we'll check back on this trade later to see if this is actually accurate, and then if we can see any other different types of settings that we can change. And in this case, it actually predicted it right. So the market did turn all the way down, and like I said, there was massive money to be made each and every single way. And I'll just sort of explain it slightly just for those who have no idea what I was on about. So the indicator told me that it was in a downtrend, and it did correctly predict this, and this is probably what this indicator works best for. If you're unsure on which way the market's going when you're waiting for your trade setup, this can probably really help you. Now, you have to use it in collaboration with your already existing trading skills, but the reason why the market dropped so hard just then is because of this massive fair value gap right down here. So you see on these charts here where it's sort of moving sideways, up and down, and it sort of stays around the same price. Those become areas of support and resistance. But these areas down here where there's massive jumps in price will always be refilled when it comes back down to those zones, because there's a lot of liquidity left on the table right here, and there's no support and resistance, unlike up here where it's moving sideways and at this range down here. Because there was no resistance, the price just completely crashed. And the reason why the market moved so heavily anyway was because of the news of the Israel-Iran conflict. So whenever you see massive spikes in price, just remember that when the price comes back to test that level, if there's no support and resistance, it will completely drop and fill in the gap. So that was a really great successful trade from the indicator. So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, I don't know if this is working correctly. It's all about how you use it, really. I don't think Lux Algo are going to release anything that won't work, because this actually did predict where the market was going, which is absolutely crazy. And I didn't expect it to. The reason why I was doing this video was literally just to test it out. I didn't even know if this was going to work or not, because at the beginning, you seen when I was looking through the comments going, I'm not too sure if this is actually going to predict it. But in this case, it did. Just a little side note as well. The reason why I was like, I'm not too sure on whether this is going to go all the way back up or come back down is because when I did it, the price was around this range right here. But this was just a liquidity sweep. So the market will be pushed in a certain direction to take people out of the stop losses, and it will then come back and reverse on itself to collect more liquidity. So all the big banks and everything, all the big hedge funds, that's all they're doing. They're just trying to get some more money out of their trades. So we waited until after the liquidity sweep and then got in for a short trade. That was a nice near 9-to-1 risk to reward trade. So whenever the markets are moving major like this because of all the global news, it's a great time to be trading. If you're looking for the best prop firm to sign up with, then click the link in our description below. You'll find a list of all of the best prop firms with great discount codes and full in-depth reviews of all of them, so you can decide which one you want to choose. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and check out this indicator if you want to, the anchored Monte Carlo shuffled projection indicator, and subscribe to the channel for even more trading content.